Hi, my name is Tonya Ingram. This is my interpersonal communications project for Human Services 508 at Liberty University. Next slide. Stewart defines communication as the way we make meaning together by taking in information, inhaling, and giving out information, exhaling. Communication, the metaphor that he uses here lets us know that communication is as important to us as breathing, and that listening is as important as talking to have an effective communication. I scored an 84 out of 100 on the communication skills assessment, and according to that, I am an excellent communicator, but there's room for improvement. Next slide. My overarching goal is to improve my listening skills, communicate my thoughts, and more clearly and effectively. Next slide. Enlarging the conversation, my definition is knowing my skills and understanding my weaknesses, and finding ways to improve both my skills and weaknesses so I can invite others to join me in their conversation. Burley Allen tells us about the different levels of listening, and I am an empathetic listener, which is level 1. And we all should strive to be that, but sometimes I find myself in a level 3, which is listening in spurts. Next slide. In my background, I was raised in an era when we didn't interrupt elders and children were seen, not heard. My grandparents raised me. My grandmother was a talker, especially on the telephone. And my grandfather, he was very quiet, soft-spoken person. But when he did speak, we listened. Next slide. Carbonell gives us the DISC personality. He discusses the different types. D is directing, driving, demanding, dominating. I is inspiring, influencing, interested in people. S is steady, stable, shy, servant, submissive. C is cautious, competent, compliant, and careful. And according to him, this will help us communicate with our behavior blend. Next slide. On the behavior blend, the uniquely viewed assessment test, my behavior blend, I am an SI and for what is expected of me. On the positive side, I do have strong people skills. I'm positive, I'm kind, I'm a problem solver, I'm flexible. On the negative side, I'm just not direct or demanding, and I'm concerned about pleasing people. Next slide. This is me, it's a CIS blend. And on the positive side, I'm friendly and cheerful, caring, loyal, outgoing, and supportive. On the negative side, I think too much, and I do not confront conflict well. Next slide. There are potential barriers, another form of, there are potential barriers. Burley Allen gives several potential barriers between listener and speaker, and I have to watch out for the self-conscious listener and the emotional listener and the interrupter. I find myself sometimes focusing too much on what I'm thinking about or versus what's being said, and therefore I interrupt. Kincaid, in his article, states, do not interrupt the speaker unless it is critical to understand or clarification. Next slide. Eliminating barriers. As Brian states in her article, we should try to create a sense of freedom and safety so that the speaker can express their thoughts without fearing a response of disapproval or rejection. I need to be less critical, reduce interruptions, and reduce ritual listening. Next slide. Continuing various eliminating barriers. The talker listener card Peterson discusses in his book provides us with a way to open up to people that we have problems confronting. That tool would be excellent, as well as the goals that he gives us that we should be reaching when we use that card. Which the goals are to provide safety, understand, and clarify. Next slide. Another barrier is noise pollution, internal distraction, things of our doing or thinking that causes problems with communicating with others. I'm a daydreamer, and sometimes I miss a piece of the conversation while I'm thinking about other things. Next slide. External distraction, things around us that cause us to be distracted when communicating with others. The TV is a big distraction for me when I'm speaking with someone, especially when I'm on the telephone. All my friends are TV. Next slide. Solutions for this is I need to try to focus and pay attention when someone is speaking to me and turn off the TV. Next slide. My plan of action is to improve my level 3 listening when someone calls me, and also to implement the talker listener card whenever I have to confront someone about an unpleasant topic. Next slide. Conclusion. Although my communication skills are excellent according to the assessment, I have learned in this class that there is room for improvement. I am now aware of the type of listener I am, and this has helped me understand the reasons I communicate the way I do. But there are tools I can use to improve my interpersonal skills. Thanks and God bless. And the reference will follow. Next slide.